Good morning. Hi, this is Travis from National Weather Service, and this is your weather hazard briefing for Wednesday, May 24th. We'll continue to have some strong storms today and produce some local heavy rain, as well as some wind and some small hail, very similar to yesterday. Mentioned those, it'll be mainly afternoon showers and thunderstorms. There will be some target areas, mainly the Snake Plain and our southwest areas, where you can see some gusty winds of over 50 miles an hour. Because them training kind of in the southwest flow up the Snake Plain, potentially could see some locally heavy rain that could do some localized floodings. We do have a flash flood watch out for that. And then we'll see some similar conditions on Thursday through Friday, but it's not as bad. And then those showers and thunderstorms continue all the way through Monday. Here's our upper level low. It's located over Washington, which is bringing moisture into our area with instability this afternoon and heating. Should see some thunderstorms fire off pretty much the whole area, but the best area where they'll continue to train will be across our southwest areas and across the Snake Plain. It's highest precipitable water amounts. We'll continue to see other areas get good precip amounts, particularly in that kind of overall southerly flow, particularly the Central Mountains, and I'll highlight that here in a second. As a whole, I just mentioned, these are all orange for moderate due to the potential for flash flooding and training across the Snake Plain. Here, across here is just the ongoing stream issues with the Bear River and such, and as well as the Portneuf. And then eastern Highlands just consider some minor snow melt and thunderstorms the next couple days. And then you can see the Lost River area and Wood River area. This is marked moderate for just due to those two rivers going into flood stage and the potential, and I'll talk about all those here in a second. But again, showers and thunderstorms all the way through, really all the way through Monday. And these all orange are areas of ongoing flooding, and with the potential of flooding today across the Snake Plain, Magic Valley, and South Hills with those strong thunderstorms. So here's the hazards that we have out. Here's that flood watch for the areas. This is the most likely area for thunderstorms. I'll go that in detail, and I'll also talk about these flood products that we have out in a second. We are in excessive rainfall outlook from the Severe Prediction Center, SPC, Weather Prediction Center. And so, again, it just shows the ability to, the amount of moisture in the air. And I'll talk about all the potentials here in a second. So here's the high temperatures, southerly flow. This will be the warmest area down here across the I-86 corridor. And then our rainfall amounts, generally, these, we wish we had them cumulative, but they're about a half an inch in the Central Mountains, as well as a half an inch across the I-86 corridor and I-15, particularly as you go into the mountains. This is the best track, again, for showers and thunderstorms today, particularly later. You can see that kind of picks up. And again, I'll show you that. Here's the HREF chances of a half an inch to 6 hours. And these are, a good 40 to 60% chance. Particularly because these look to train, this is where the areas where we have the watch, based on the amount of ongoing flooding already due to snow melt. This will obviously add to that. And you see that in the forecast for Corson Valley. And then it kind of looks like they'll get showers, good amount of precip every afternoon for the next several days. And so that, again, is reflected in the forecast at Bigwood at Hailey. Here is the EFI Extreme Forecast Index, and it shows the Snake Plain being a good target for that. Basically, because where the thunderstorms are. Here's the best Cape potential, anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 joules, and then the shear is anywhere from 35 to 40 knots. Shear gets a little bit better as you go later, but your Cape backs off due to the cloud cover. So it's just a fine mix in there. The best chances of showers and thunderstorms will be early on in the Idaho Falls area and Sun Valley area, and that will all continue through the afternoon, but not as chance for severe, but the best chance for severe is along, again, that corridor southwest all the way up the Snake Plain, again, because of these indices. Here's our high temperatures for Thursday, a little bit warmer, and as well as Friday, as the precip chances are not as much, particularly early on. We get cloud cover later, and then here's Saturday. Here's our current advisories and warnings and watches for the rivers. You can see we still have the watch. I believe that's for the East Fork area, and then these all the other areas. All these areas have gone down a little bit, and I'll show you, but many of them, Warm Springs and Big Wood, still remain in flood stage. And then here's also for the Big Lost, and I'll show you all those forecasts in a minute. Here's all the Portneuf River, and then the Bear River down here, and then here are the flood advisories on the Blackfoot River and just in the Bear Lake area. So if you want to see them, just go to our HEFS page off our weather.gov/Pocatello, and all the dots, the round or the probability forecast, and then the square is just the forecast, and then observations all along these. And all these ones are different colors, show the different flood stages they're in, and I'll kind of go through a lot of these here very quickly. So here's the Antelope Creek, this right here. It continues to be in flood stage, so that flood warning has continued. The Littlewood, it's below action stage. It is not in any type of advisories or warning currently. The Yankee Fork is not an advisory warning. It just dropped below action stage. Here's the Yankee Fork Salmon River. Again, due to the cooler temperatures yesterday, it dropped a little bit, but still below action stage, and Valley Creek is still below action stage. Here's the Black River. You can see overall downward trend. It did keep steady, if not slight increase, due to the amount of rain. Again, it should drop out of action stage in the next 3 or 4 days, but it will be highly dependent on rain, as many of these areas are. Here's the Bear River, mostly steady in the forecast, but a slight increase due to the rain. Raft River has gone up, mainly because of the rain. If we see more rain, it may go near minor, and that is a good target, particularly for this afternoon. Here's the Portneuf Tyhee, down from Pocatello gauge. Here's the Topaz, well into flood stage, and here's the Portneuf River, well into flood stage and moderate. Could potentially hit major, the forecast. Again, it's all rain dependent. We had quite a bit yesterday, and then how much they have today, and then the following days. North Fork, Big Wood River near Ketchum, it just dropped below action stage, but we see that to come back up as we get more precip. And here's the one at Gimlet, and here's the one at Trail Creek, all kind of the same thing. They've dropped due to the cooler temperatures, slightly cooler temperatures, and Warm Springs has remained in moderate stage, but still did drop again with the cooler temperatures. Rain will drive all of these back up. Here's the one at Hailey. It did have quite a bit of a decrease due to the cooler temperatures, but it will be highly dependent in the future because of the rain. And you can see here's the HEFS. It actually has a 34% chance, you can see as we go into the 28th, which is Sunday, that it could actually hit an all-time peak. And we'll be watching that closely. Again, that will depend highly on how much precip happens each afternoon. If you get a very strong precip amount of 1 inch or more, that will really drive this river up. If it stays in the 1/4 to 1/2 inch of what we're current forecast pretty much every day, should kind of remain along this forecast. Just summary, more showers and thunderstorms today, some severe, particularly in our southwest and along the Snake Plain, particularly the southern Snake Plain, and potentially the upper Snake Plain as these storms kind of track up in southwest flow. They'll have some locally heavy rain and could train over the same areas, which would create some flooding issues, particularly over urban areas and some small streams. We are looking at gusty winds, particularly in our southwest, as these storms start firing off mid-afternoon, the 50 miles an hour, maybe some small hail with that. And then we'll see some similar conditions Thursday, Friday, but not quite as bad, and the showers and thunderstorms will continue. And just continue to monitor the rivers, particularly for those areas that hit a lot of rain. They'll see some peaks on the rivers due to that. If you have any questions, give us a call at this number. Thank you.